Hey, let me ask you a question. How quickly do you get desensitized to news? I heard the news this week that we had almost 1,300 pounds of trash at 4th of July weekend in Lake Tahoe. And I thought, hey, that's pretty good. And then I thought, how sad is it that I thought 1,300 pounds was pretty good? And then I started thinking about the companies and people who are helping us get the beaches clean and keeping Tahoe blue. And I reached out to Keep Tahoe Blue and said, hey, let's get you guys on the show. Let's talk about the victories and what's going on today. But that question just keeps ringing in my head. Have I become desensitized even to 1,300 pounds? So today, my guests, stick around. We're going to be talking about the beaches. We're going to talk about keeping Tahoe blue and all the great programs that keep Tahoe blue. Marilee Movius is with us today. She's a champion of these programs. And Marilee, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So I have to be honest, I was sitting there thinking, going, why is 1,300 pounds sound so good to me? Because I remember a couple years ago when it was just so bad. And I just wanted, maybe we'll just jump in and just keep Tahoe, blue, and the red, white, and blue 4th of July. It's a big story every year. How would you wrap up how things happened, what you guys saw on the beach, and where we're at?
Yeah, very good question. The 12th annual Keep Tahoe Red, White, and Blue Beach Cleanup was a huge success this year. We did pick up around 1,300 pounds, but this is a reduction from last year where we picked up around 1,800 pounds. So we saw a 27% reduction in the litter that we found overall. And this is a huge win. We want to see that decline in litter picked up after the 4th of July holiday.
Isn't that amazing, right? So 27% in any business fashion would be a number to just be massively celebrated. And I know this weekend we have the celebrity golf tournament on the beaches, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. So people are going to be rushing to Tahoe. Matter of fact, if you weren't here during 4th of July, you come there and go, hey, nothing's wrong. The beaches are beautiful because we have programs now in place that are just, are great. How many volunteers did you guys have out for the event? Did you guys keep count of that?
Yes, of course. We did have 665 volunteers that came out and met at 7 locations around the lake that the league hosted. We also had a partner in Incline Village that hosted another location with another 40 volunteers. So it is really awesome to see such a huge turnout of people that really want to protect Lake Tahoe and get involved.
Absolutely. I think that's incredible. I happen to be, this year I'm off, but up until this year, I've been a volunteer in Desolation Wilderness. I understand the whole idea of being a volunteer activist kind of out there, just taking care of what's there so the next generation, the next person can see it clean. I saw a story yesterday. I don't know, is this your guys' program where the robots are not cleaning some of the beaches too on a regular basis, or is that a separate program?
It is actually part of one of our programs. Eco Clean Solutions is the company that operates the Bebot beach cleaning robot, which is, yeah. And it's really great to see this operate on the sand and keep our beaches clean under the sand. So people picking up litter and taking litter with them home and putting it in the proper receptacle is very important. But a lot of times there's things that's under the sand that we can't see. And the Bebot is the last line of defense before it makes its way to the lake.
Gotcha. Okay. That's really good. No, I haven't actually seen that in operation yet. I need to go up there and kind of watch it go. Just have heard that operation. And, you guys been doing it. You said, I think you didn't say 12 years is the 12th year of the cleanup?
Yes, it is.
How has that changed over 12 years to, like, you can think back to where it started? I don't know if you were here then to where it's now. How has the operation changed? Is there more groups involved? Give us a little feedback on that.
Yeah, of course. This is something that I have been implementing for the last 12 years, and it's really awesome to see the sites grow from 2 sites when I first started to now 7 hosted locations around the lake. It's also great to work with more partners and land managers and businesses. So we had 17 that we collaborated with this year. So we really have more people involved, not only in the planning side and executing side, but also the volunteer engagement.
That's great. Any stories from this year's cleanup that kind of stuck out to you? Conversation you had with a volunteer, or something weird you guys found? Let's have some fun with this a little bit. What's the fun stories for the beach cleanup day?
Sure. I mean, we did have some locations that found odd things like construction materials because they were scouring not only the beach, but the surrounding area. The top trash that we did find in this year's cleanup amongst all our cleanups is single-use plastics. So this includes cigarette butts, straws, utensils, foodware, to-go items that we use one time and then discard. And usually people are doing the right thing and putting it in the trash can or taking it home with them, but sometimes they fly away or unfortunately get left behind. And when this breaks down in the environment, they break to smaller and smaller pieces in the sun, and then they can end up as microplastics in the lake. So these are the things that are really important to get out of the environment, finding a lot of little pieces. And also just being out there with everybody is so exciting. Not only because we're removing litter out of the environment in these top trash found, but also because these are like-minded people gathering together, wanting to protect the lake during their holiday vacation, or because they live here and really want to protect it. So one situation and conversation that came to mind, me being personally present at Kings Beach, I met the Plum family, and with them, with their 2 kids that are teenagers, and they've been have a timeshare in Kings Beach area, and they've always wanted to come up for the July 4th holiday. And this year they were able to do so and made the July 5th cleanup part of their vacation, which is really cool.
That is so cool. It's so cool when families make it part of their family unit, you know what I'm saying, when it becomes part of their culture. This is a side note story, but I kind of share a story from Desolation a lot with friends of mine. When people go, why do you do the volunteerism Desolation? Just the things they've taught me that it now become part of my habit. I remember taking a group of kids from our church into Desolation Wilderness for the first time, and before we had started, the leader said, hey, give them a little spiel about what you do. And so I asked all the kids to find all the orange trees for me they could see. Of course, there's no orange trees. Like, okay, find all the bananas trees for them. They couldn't find them. Says, that's because orange trees and banana trees don't belong in Desolation Wilderness, right? And so if you see that kind of stuff, we pick it up and throw it away. And at the very end, this little girl comes up. She has 2 handfuls of trash she's picked up along the way. She goes, what do I do with it now, Mr. Charlie? I go, we carry it out. Good job. I put it in my pack. It's a lot of fun. You teach the kids how to do it right, too. So that's really cool. The Plum family,
Absolutely.
if you're out there listening, Plum family, good job. Yeah. But, well, as I was on your website looking at details, just trying to catch up for this interview too, I saw that you guys are doing, I want to call it A/B testing with signs. You have an art project where you guys are, printing off different types of signs around town and kind of gauging public opinion and results off of these signs. Could you kind of share a little bit about that? I thought that was so fascinating. Could we think about that in digital marketing? I didn't think about that in signs in Lake Tahoe.
Right. Yeah, this is the CC collab that we're collaborating with. So this is Conservation Communication Collaborative. And we met these folks at a Leave No Trace conference last year in October. We met Will, who's a professor from University of Montana, and Jeremy, a professor from University of Kansas. And they are in parks and recreation and environmental conservation, and also graphic design. And they collaborate together to bring grad students and undergrad students in projects and test out signage for either a land manager or, in this case, with Keep Tahoe Blue, testing awareness about litter and behavior around litter. And so testing out different signs with environmental messages and surveying to see what really is working. What do people think about when they see the signs, what really resonates, as well as roaming the beaches and figuring out, where people are coming from, where do they get information before they come to Tahoe, and kind of get more of an idea of the demographics and what really makes them think about wanting to protect Lake Tahoe. And really excited for, they're out in the field right now as we speak, and they're here till July 17th. Really excited to hear what comes of this project and learn more at the end of the year after analysis.
That's going to be some fascinating statistics to see,
Yeah.
especially the whole idea of what resonates, right? I mean, the whole idea of educating the public about what's, good and right, and to look out what's around you and take care of it. It's such an important piece, but it's always so hard to measure. It's like, how do you know what kind of impact you had, right? That's a really cool project. I hope that we get some really cool results from that. You guys, on the other hand, do another program up there where you've kind of got your own Desolation Wilderness volunteer program. I think it's called the Blue Crew, right? Hey, can you tell me
Yeah,
a
the
little bit
Tahoe
about the
Blue Crew.
Blue Crew and how that's coming along?
Yeah, absolutely. The Tahoe Blue Crew program is similar to your Adopt a Beach or Adopt a Highway program. We have individuals, groups, business groups, social groups that adopt their favorite Tahoe spot and pledge to clean it throughout the year. And it's a really awesome program for where not only are they picking up litter, but they also are collecting data for our science to solutions approach. And this was really important, for example, advocating for solutions like the plastic water bottle ban most recently in the city of South Lake Tahoe's limits.
Yeah.
And this is the first municipal ban of its kind in the nation. And so it's really cool to have these groups that are going out and adopting areas, collecting litter data for us to advocate to stop litter at its source.
That plastic bottle, I was thinking about that as well. So if you guys find a plastic bottle on the beach, then you pretty much know that came from outside the area, right? Because you can't buy it in South Lake right now. Is that correct?
Uh, right. You can't buy it in the city of South Lake Tahoe's limits, but we do have other counties around the lake that still sell water bottle at their stores.
Okay. Well, that's going to be fascinating data to collect, right? Because obviously that's a part of our culture that we all need a break, but it's still there. That's very fascinating. So this Blue Crew, how many volunteers do you have right now? I mean, are you looking for more? Is there something that people can continually, get educated on and do?
Yeah, great question. We are always looking for new Blue Crew leaders and crews. So anyone that's interested in pledging to clean an area at least 3 times a year is what we hope. So when the spring snow melt comes and litter comes out of hibernation, having a cleanup, maybe one midsummer and then one in the fall before snow falls. And then we do have folks that are going out more often, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. So we always are accepting people to come on in. A lot of people are adopting their favorite beach or trail or trailhead. And so if there's a spot that people know about that they'd like to adopt, definitely we'd love it to make it easy and fun for them. There's also some hotspots that we're aware of, and we'd love to get people to adopt those.
That's good. Yeah.
This, yeah.
I think that's fantastic. We do that in Desolation Wilderness. So I've adopted Ropey Lake one summer because it's one of my favorite places. So I just go there more often, right? Or I've done
Yes.
Triangle Lakes, which no one ever gets to, but it's amazing how many pistachio shells I find at Triangle Lake. So yeah, but you find those spots that you really care about. You get to go a little more often. You go there with a little bit of a purpose and cause. It makes you feel pretty good. You enjoy the day out with your group or individual. So that's really cool. Is there a training program they got to go through? Is it just a waiver online to sign? How do you process people through on the program?
Yeah, we have virtual trainings that we offer throughout the summer, and we do have one coming up in August. And we like to make it virtual so that people not only in the Lake Tahoe Basin can attend, but those outside the basin. We have a lot of people that are part of the program that live in Reno or Sacramento or in other areas, but they do come to Tahoe often and would like to pledge to adopt an area. So we love to offer trainings online so that people are able to join us. And we do have live ones that, like I said, in August is our next one, but we do have recorded training in case there is somebody that really like to urgently get started and make it easy for them to get going. And then after that, we select a zone and get them activated. We offer equipment and support throughout all of their cleanings and show them how to collect data.
That's great. I imagine that's a great place for people to make friends as well, as you get like-minded people who want to take care of what we own, and that's Lake Tahoe, right? This natural beauty that we all should take some pride in keeping clean. So that's really cool. Do you any favorite Blue Crew stories out there that you can tell that folks? I always like to give a little bit of behind the curtain glimpse of what's going on.
Yes, we have now so many crews. We have about 60 active crews, and that's always growing. And it's really awesome to see them conduct a couple thousand cleanups already since the start of the program, which is Labor Day of 2019.
Okay.
And so we're really seeing the impact that these individuals and groups are making. And so it's hard to pick just one. However, one that comes to the mind is our Tahoe Blue Crew from the TRPA, the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency crew.
Yeah.
Over the years, they've adopted Zephyr Shoals. And before last year, this was an area that is solely managed by the U.S. Forest Service. And though they have staff that can periodically go to this site, they just didn't have a lot of resources. And they really were excited to have the Tahoe Blue Crew form and have crews adopt Zephyr Shoals area.
That's
So
nice.
this TRPA Blue Crew went out on July 5th cleanup before Zephyr Cove became a public cleanup site as part of our July 5th cleanup. And through some of the data they were collecting, we saw an increase in litter over the years. And so in 2023, we decided that this would be a good place to have as a public cleanup as part of the Keep Tahoe Red, White, and Blue Beach cleanup. And because of their data and them going out, not only ongoing, but especially on July 5th, we were able to see that this is a place that we need to put attention. And it was great because the following year in 2024, Aramark took concessionaire over Zephyr Shoals, and we worked with them in our Tahoe Blue Beach program that we piloted last year and had a lot of success.
Yeah, I was reading about that on the beach program online. That obviously was the place that the news broke 2 years ago that just got trashed, right? It was like world news hit Tahoe, and so tell me a little bit more about the beach program. How many different spots around Tahoe is this now initiated? What's the future plans for that program, or is it based on the data? You keep bringing the data up. I can see data. It's just a data-driven process, right? So,
It is, yes. Data is important so that we understand, what commonly trash found items, what items we find commonly in our litter pickups, as well as where we may want to advocate for solutions such as municipal bans or installing cigarette canisters. But the Tahoe Blue Beach program is definitely something that we see as a success and a way to work with businesses and land managers to really make the right choice, the easy choice for people that are going and recreating at our beaches. This program is piloted at Zephyr Cove Resort with Aramark and the U.S. Forest Service last year, and it has expanded the pilot to Kings Beach with California State Parks and through a grant through the North Tahoe Community Alliance.
okay.
We also are piloting this program at Meeks Bay, Camp Richardson, and we do have Tahoe Beach Club as another member.
That's
So our
fantastic.
pilot program, yeah, go ahead.
No, that sounds good. When they get signed up in the beach program, what is Keep Tahoe Blue like providing them? Is it signage? Is it how to, like, do you guys a prep kit for, here's how to run a successful event? I'm trying to kind of get my mind on what the whole program involves instead
Yes.
of or are they all catered to that individual beach and what's around there?
Yeah, it is a little bit of all of those things. So
Okay.
it is a collaborative program working with land managers and businesses to create an environment that making the right choice is the easy choice for people that are visiting the beach and in front country. Through working together, we are looking at we call it the 3 E's, which is education, engineering, and enforcement, really to create an ethos when you enter a blue beach that people are inspired to take individual responsibility to keep the beach pristine, like when they enter. Yeah. So there's a different menu of options for each location to be tailored to the specific things that there may be more support needed or issues that they're facing, and what are those solutions. So it includes things like educational signage, or it is also looking at increased dumpster and portable toilet facilities on peak demand holiday weekends, or possibly it is going out and installing new receptacles for waste or for cigarettes or for dogs. And so we're looking at all of these different locations and installing these different amenities and having education before people even arrive, and looking at all the different variables to have these three components to have a successful Blue Beach.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I really applaud what you guys are doing there. I have an odd question, and it's not part of the ones I prepped you for at all. So I'm gonna just ask this. We had a
Sure.
amazing storm, this squall storm that happened, where we had tragic life loss in Lake Tahoe, boats being upside down. How does an organization like Keep Tahoe Blue, kind of go into action mode, if you will, when events like this happen, where they weren't expected? I mean, celebrity golf tournament, is coming. You can plan for it. You got cleanup ready to go. This was something that's completely unheard of, and yet it trashed so many things. How does an organization like you get involved in that cleanup process afterwards, I guess? So
Yeah, if there's extreme weather events or things that come into play that we're alerted about from our partners and regional agencies, we do like to send a word on letting people know if there's something like a safety hazard or things to be concerned about, or a request from other agencies to spread the word for public awareness, environmental issues, or needing to really band together to create a solution. So there have been things that we have put out on social media to support and making sure that our lakes and communities is safe and environmentally sound.
okay, very good. I apologize again. It
And
didn't
then
prep
if
you for
I,
that one at all. It was just came to my mind. It's like,
yeah,
we just had that big old thing. There was boats everywhere, and it was like, and I know North Lake Tahoe just had the barge sink. I'm sure that's something you guys are concerned about. That's anything that goes in the water, right? That has an effect, and any type of like hot spots that the public should be aware of right now that you guys are monitoring. That's all of a sudden like are popping up on your radar, or areas of interest that you guys are going to kind of measuring with your data going, hey, we need to pay some attention here or get some words out to the public that we may have a problem.
sure, yeah. And to answer more on your previous questions, yes, we do like to have rapid response if there is unfortunate circumstances with boats tipping in the water, or there is a barge sinking or debris floating that could be harmful to the environment or to public safety. And we do like to have rapid response working with our partners and alerting the public if there is something that we think there should be action taken for. So
Gotcha.
we do like to take action right away whenever possible to protect Lake Tahoe. We also are monitoring areas for various things that could be a threat to the lake. So this includes aquatic invasive species.
Yeah.
There have been golden mussel that's been present into lakes nearby the Lake Tahoe area. So we right now are deploying volunteers, our aquatic invasive species defense team, in partnership with the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency, to educate volunteers to walk the beaches and educate the public about the importance of cleaning, draining, and drying watercrafts
Mm-hmm.
before they go to the lake. So motorized boats and non-motorized as well, like kayaks and paddleboards.
Paddleboards,
And the
yeah.
importance of not spreading these invasive species around the lake or bringing in new ones like the golden mud snail. I'm sorry,
That's
the golden mussel.
the gun. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I know that was pretty scary when they caught the one boat early in the season that luckily the stations were there to catch, right? It's like one. It only takes one, and all of a sudden our lake
Mm-hmm.
is going to be in a battle for its life, right? It's going to be crazy. So that's a really good message. I don't even know how you educate that mass of a population of people who, like, I learned how to paddleboard for the first time last year. I had to go what does it even look like? I mean, I'm only in our mountain lakes, but I don't know what what it even looks like. So luckily I only paddleboard once every couple months, so it dries out pretty easy. But still, cleaning your board and take care of your equipment is a big deal, right? So things we got to
It
learn.
is. And we do have a training through Keep Tahoe Blue called our Eyes in the Lake program, where
Okay.
I train people to identify aquatic invasive plants and threatening species. And we also partner with the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency's Tahoe Keeper program, showing you how to easily and quickly clean, drain, and dry your watercraft before deploying on our rivers and lake. And it's really important, yes, to do so. Like you said, it's that way we're not being part of the problem, we're being part of the solution. And so
It's all
people,
part of our responsibility, right? It's our job to,
Mhm.
if we're going to recreate and enjoy, then it's our job also to learn how to take care of, so that it's what we can enjoy it
Exactly.
for a longer term, right? Let me throw this out to you. Kind of, maybe we'll do a final question here before we get into kind of some personal stuff. What is? I mean, our listeners are all hikers, paddleboarders, backcountry enthusiasts. They love nature. I mean, what would be the message to recreation groups about stewardship and our lake and how they can learn and be hand in hand with things that you're putting out?
Yeah, I love that you're spreading that word and awareness and mantra, because it is important to protect while we play. And for Tahoe, for example, we're not a national park. And we love getting outside to paddleboard and hike, and in the winter ski and snowboard. Yeah. And we all have to do our part to keep Tahoe blue. And I really think it's important that people practice leave no trace ethics and, ways to keep Tahoe blue. And this can include leaving places better than we found them. So even if litter is not yours, picking it up so that it's not there for the next person and it doesn't, stay in the environment or hurt wildlife. And also making sure that we leave what we find, so that the next person can enjoy it, and not trampling vegetation or going into places that will hurt our really precious ecosystems. And so I think that the whole idea of, when packing and preparing, to think about what we're putting in our backpack. So choosing reusables to reduce waste in the waste stream. All of these things, I think, together are great to help us protect the environment.
I love that. I love that. Well, congratulations on a successful program. Again, 1,300 pounds sounds like, like, oh, that sounds great. I'm going, oh, it's still 1,300 pounds, but congratulations. It's improving. Good job, everyone out there who went 4th of July. I applaud you as all. Marilee, we close our show every year or every day or every week. We close our show every week. Sorry, folks. With the same 3 questions for everybody. These are little personal questions about your outdoor recreation life and your life in Tahoe. Share a little bit about you. So let's do the first one here. Let's pretend your bags are packed behind you. You get the weekend off and you get to go anywhere in the Sierra to play that you want to go. Where are you going and why?
That's a hard question. The Sierras are amazing, and it's hard to pick just one spot. Growing up my whole life, going to the Sierras from the south to now in Lake Tahoe. But I'd say, Desolation Wilderness is one of my favorite places. And so I think I echo your sentiment.
Yep.
That it's just really a special place. And there's so many lakes in Desolation Wilderness to enjoy. And it's just really incredible to end the hike in these freshwater lakes and enjoy the wildflowers in the beginning of summer.
I'm right there. It's Desolation and Yosemite for me. Both of them. I can go out there all the time. Good job. So after a day of cleaning beaches or hiking the Desolation Wilderness, I'm a foodie. I like a cheeseburger and a milkshake. Hiker hunger is real. What is your go-to food for after a good day outdoor playing?
Yeah, I think cheeseburger sounds great. I think I might go towards a taco or burrito, though.
Yeah, okay. Do you have a favorite taco stand in Tahoe?
There are so many good ones. I really like the burrito at Verde. They have one with sweet potatoes and black beans. This is really good. And
my wife would like that, sweet potatoes and black beans. Yeah, that sounds like you got.
It's so good.
That's awesome. And I actually haven't had a burrito at Verde, so I'm gonna have to put that on my go do list. I head up there and get to the Lovers Leap this weekend for their Lovers Fest. Maybe I'll stop back by. So, all right, last and final here. We're all gearheads somehow, right? So when you go outdoors, what piece of gear do you never leave home without?
Definitely my reusable water bottle, and second is a solar light.
A solar light. Oh, that's interesting. You because you like to stay out later, or just when you're out camping and stuff.
Definitely when I'm out camping. A lot of my hikes, I oftentimes start later in the afternoon, and some coming back at sunset, and sometimes it can be slightly after dark. So
yeah,
I like to be prepared.
I was stuck on a Marlette Lake trail coming down from Marlette Lake one time in complete dark. I'm going, should have brought a flashlight. This was not a good idea. I completely get that. That's good choices. Well, hey, thank you so much for being part of our show today and sharing the story. We love what Keep Tahoe Blue is doing and all the partnerships that you guys at the lake. Applaud every effort you guys are doing. Did a great job on the show today. And if you guys are out there today and you're looking at Lake Tahoe this weekend, whether here's the golf tournament just getting over by the time you hear this, you're coming to Lake Tahoe, remember your part. If you're going to come play, let's treat the lake properly and protect what we play, where we play by doing our part ahead of time. So yeah, take a look at Keep Tahoe Blue. They have their Blue Crew signups for August coming up. You can get on their website at Keep Tahoe Blue and look at that information. Other than that, Marilee, thank you so much for being part of the show. We enjoyed having you.
Oh, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
Very good. And folks, wherever you're at, be blessed, have a safe drive, and we'll talk to you next week.